Hello everybody, and welcome back to G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And yeah, looking at the temperature here, it did top out at 117 degrees Fahrenheit today. Didn't stay up there very long, but it did get up to 117. And for me, that's a record that I've seen here on this homestead since I got out here in 2016. And I don't want to see it again. So apparently, the last I heard was it's going to start cooling down as of tomorrow. But that's yet to be seen. I slept really good last night, but hey, time to get up and do something. Alright, so what do we got doing here? I have a strange observation to show you guys and gals and whoever else is watching. All right, so let's see if we can do pretty close to a 360 here. I want to show you this. And back at the sun. All right. So, what is the strange observation? Anybody see it? Does anybody see it? Okay. I can give you a hint. It's been a strange observation now for probably over a month, at least. And I mentioned it to my neighbors in a text yesterday, and they realized it too. What is it? Something missing. What's missing? What's missing up here, everybody? No, not clouds. Chemtrails. No chemtrails. Not a single one. Now, I realized this as I was laying in my tote koozie there and soaking up the water and feeling nice and cool, and I was looking up at the sky, and I could see jets flying over, both directions, back and forth, and I could hear the jets, but there was nothing coming out the backs of them. And I can see some of them were way, way up there. I mean, really, really high. And still nothing coming out them. So, yesterday, when I was laying in there, I saw one jet fly over after a bunch of others did. And it actually had what I looked at when I said, that's a contrail, not a chemtrail. Because it was only about 4 or 5 times the length of the plane out the back of it. But then as I watched it, it shifted from 1 contrail to 2 contrails, back to 1 contrail, and then back to 2 contrails, and then back to 1 contrail. What all that was all about, I haven't a clue. But my guess is they are now spraying new chemicals that don't leave the streaks across the sky so that us watchdogs don't complain about it and make a big fuss. Because I doubt that they've actually stopped doing their chemtrail thing. That would be silly. Anyway, just wanted to show that to you and share it with you. So, in here, my batteries are still doing fine. Yeah, I know the temperature inside the cabin was a little on the warm side. Well, that's because the air conditioner really wasn't doing much for the temperature at 117. It was knocking it down to 97. It was still 97 in the cabin. And I said, you know what? why am I putting a strain on my batteries to go down to 97 when I can just open some windows and live with it, right? Now, in the future, when I get settled up with my finances and my inheritance finally does come in, if it ever does come in, I plan on installing a mini split in this cabin. And when I do order the mini split, I'm going to order one that's twice the size of what I actually need. And why? Well, it'll work a lot less hard. And if I buy one that's designed for 450 square feet, which is what I've got here, then that thing's going to have to work full time, just like my air conditioner is right now, just to keep me 20 degrees cooler than normal. All right, so my plan is, if I double that, like a lot of shopping malls and things like that do, that's why you walk in there and it feels like you're in a refrigeration unit. That's because if they needed a 10-ton unit on the roof, they put a 20-ton. And they want that so that the people in there, the shoppers, are extra comfortable, so they spend more time in there. And that's what I'll do to my cabin. I'm going to put one twice the size of what I need, so it doesn't have to work as hard, and it keeps the cabin nice and cool. Now, standard air conditioning will only get you down 20 degrees below the ambient. So if it's 100 degrees, you're only looking at getting it down to 80. But if you double your size of your unit, you can get down to 30 degrees lower, and sometimes 40 degrees lower, depending on how good your place is, your room or building is insulated. And I'm very well insulated, so I might be able to get 40 out of it. So if it's 100 degrees out, I can get it down to 60 in there. How's that sound? Of course, I won't do that. I'll cut it off at like 75 and don't let it work so hard. All right, so I did pick up another item in the mail today, and I'm doing some of the preliminaries on it right now. And when it's ready, when the temperature cools a little bit, I'll get out and I'll do another review. And this one you'll like. And this is, well, let's just say it goes right along with wind and solar, like I've found is what you guys really like the most of. All right, I did go in the garden today and watered everything down really well. And my citrus trees and my tomato plants and all of those were crying for a drink. So they got it. They're all settled up. They're all nice and soaked down really well. And hopefully the temperatures will start giving us a break here starting tomorrow. And I'll be back tomorrow with another episode, and we'll see where we're at from there. And we'll go from there. That's G Bear. Thanking you for joining me and signing off.